Hey guys, Todd here. Today we're going to install the NeoSupreme seat covers from CalTrend on this 2020 Ram 2500 crew cab. Now this is a similar installation for other CalTrend seat covers. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, here we are on the front seat. I'm going to start with the passenger side. Passenger side installs the same way as the driver's side. So I'm going to start with the seat bottom. Now if you flip this back, you'll know we've got a little bit of a cutout here. And that goes to the outside of the seat. The inside has no cutout. If yours is vice versa, then that means this goes to the driver's side, not to the passenger side. That's how you differentiate the two. So next, what I'm going to do is flip this over, and we've got a couple of clips. We need to unclip them. And then make sure that our straps come out over top of the seat. All right, we're going to go ahead and hook it around the front of the seat cushion and pull it back. And next we're going to start tucking this down between the seat back and the seat bottom. All right, now to get all that through the back, we need to move this out of the way. Now I've already moved the seat forward and pushed the seat back as far forward as it will go. Now I'm going to reach underneath and undo a couple of clips. Once those clips are undone, I can go ahead and fold this back, and you can see how this has already started falling down. So I'm just going to give it a few little pulls, get nice and drawn down. And next I can go ahead and feed these up to the front. Make sure we're not wrapped around any of our cables or wires. And we can also go ahead and take this clip and hook it in underneath. All right, next we can go ahead and attach our clips to the coordinating clips on the front. Before we cinch those down though, we want to go ahead and tuck the sides. So now this one you'll see has a hook on it. So I'm going to tuck it in there, and underneath you're not going to be able to see where I go with this, but I'm just going to hook it out of the way. Just make sure you don't hook that to any kind of wires underneath the seat. And then we can go ahead and cinch down our straps. All right, next we need to get the headrests out of the way. Let me show you how to do those. All of our headrests are going to come off the exact same way. You just lift up on them, and then you've got a button over here. There's a smaller button on this side. Push in on that smaller button, and the headrest will wiggle free. And pull it out of the way. All right, next we can go ahead and grab our passenger side seat back. Now it is vinyl on the back and cloth on the front. So what we're going to do is pull that out. Make sure that you have the driver's or the passenger side airbag side able to deploy. If you have this on the opposite side, that's the driver's side. So this is the passenger side here. Next, we're going to go ahead and just go right over top of the seat. We're just going to work side to side, work it down in place. Make sure as you're working this down in place, you keep the seams lined up with the lines on the seat. And it should slide down nice and easily for you. Okay, now once you get it in place, make sure you massage it where you want it, and also make sure your cutouts are lined up to your posts where your headrests attach. Now what we're going to do is we're going to push our headrest posts through. What I do is I do one corner at a time. Once I bear down and get that in place. It can be helpful to use a little plastic pry tool or tucking tool. All right, next we're going to go down to the bottom and tuck this between the seat back and the seat bottom. Okay, now back to the rear again. As I was pulling this down in place, this factory panel kind of flipped back down. We're going to flip it back up. Here are our 3 hooks that came out the back. Now again, I'm just going to give it a nice snug pull to make sure it's pulled all the way through. Now I've got these 3 hooks that I want to reach underneath and hook them to the bottom of the seat frame. Make sure you're not hooking them to any kind of cables. Make sure you're not hindering any cables from moving. All right, next we can go ahead and flip this back down, reattach the factory clips. And now this portion, go ahead and pull that nice and taut and attach these hooks. I'll typically just attach them to the bottom of the factory flap, right where that cable is. Okay, now let me show you how to do the headrest. It's actually a trick to it, and it's very simple. Here is your headrest cover. The part with the Velcro that is the one continuous piece will go to the front. What we're going to do is take and fold that backwards like so. And once we've got it folded back, now we can slide that over top of our headrest. And once that's slid over top of the headrest, make sure all the lines are lined up to the seams. And then you can go ahead and roll these sides down. All right, and once it's pulled nice and tight, I like to grab the center portion, pull that nice and tight, and then lay the Velcro over top of it like so, and then do the sides. Okay, seat tilted back, we're going to go ahead and reinstall the headrest. The driver's side installs the exact same way. Okay, now starting with the back, what we're going to do is get all of our seat belts out of the way. The best way to do that is to kind of push them through. Once they're pushed through, lift up the seat backs and pull them the rest of the way through. All right, then we can go ahead and pull off the headrests. All right, let's tackle the armrest portion. We're going to pull that out at about this angle here. Make sure that this is pulled apart, and then just slide it over top. As you're sliding it, you want to go ahead and line up the bottom. And the reason why you want to keep it at about this angle is it gives you more room underneath to work. So we're going to slide that underneath, and then grab the tops, slide it in. Once you get to about here, you also want to pull your strap through. Next, we're going to take the Velcro portion from the bottom, lean it forward, and then put it on top. Now that portion is done, let's go to this part. Okay, now here is our passenger side seat back cover. I've already gone ahead and unstrapped or unclipped our straps. I'm going to go ahead and pull those along the front. Then I'm also going to pull our seat belt out and pull that through the seat belt. All right, once we've got that in place, we can go ahead and line that up to the tops. Now we're going to go ahead and take our straps and feed them down between the seat back and the back of the cab. Now it's definitely helpful to do this after you've already lined everything up because you don't want the straps to go down in the wrong location. All right, next what we want to do is tuck the bottoms down between the seat back and the seat bottom. If you want to pull this bottom seat up at an angle, it's a lot easier to work through there. You have a little bit more of a gap. Also, you're going to have child hooks that are down here. You want to go over top of those child hooks. Those child hooks are actually attached to the seat bottoms. All right, now we're going to go ahead and pull that all the way up. Reach underneath where our seat back cover is coming through and pull it down nice and tight. Make sure everything stays in line up top while you're doing this. And also, while you're doing this, make sure that the cutouts line up with the tops of where our headrest goes through, the headrest base. All right, we're going to go ahead and fit the headrest bases up through the cutouts. All right, now I've got all my straps lined up to my coordinating clips. I'm going to go ahead and clip those together and cinch them down. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and bring this down and show you. We've got one last strap. This strap is actually gonna go in and behind and attach to the clip on the opposite side. The way we're gonna do that is we're gonna feed it between the seat back cushions so that it drops down below. Lift our seat back up. Now we can pull that through. Make sure you have plenty of slack on this side. Go ahead and feed that back behind. Now you're gonna have to reach up, clip it in place, and cinch it. All right, now we're just gonna massage everything in place to where it looks nice and good. All right, here's our passenger side seat bottom cover. I've gone ahead and undone all of our clips. So we're gonna flip that over. And line that up like so. Or lift the seat up and get it hooked around the seat bottom. Now we can go ahead and feed this down through. And if you keep it at an angle, you have a really good working space underneath here. Make sure you go over top of all of the child restraints, because again, the child restraints are part of the seat bottom. Once that's through, go ahead and pull all the straps through. Give it a nice tug. And we can go ahead and attach our clips to our straps and cinch them down. Once we've done that, we're going to go ahead and pull the sides, make sure they're nice and set. Then we're going to run our strap side to side. Clip that in place and cinch that down. Get everything nice and tucked in and make sure it's nice and even on the top. All right, let's go ahead and do the driver's side seat back. All right, now this is going to install pretty much just like this side over here. We just don't have an armrest or a seat belt to work around. So just unclip everything and do what we did before. Feed the straps down. All right, now we're going to go ahead and work this down between the seat back and the seat bottom. Again, make sure you're going over top of the child restraint hooks. All right, now we've got our straps lined up. We're going to go ahead and clip them to the coordinating clips and cinch them down. And again, the center strap, go ahead and feed through just like we did on the other side. Right, fit that in place, and now we can go ahead and do our seat bottom. All right, now this is going to install exactly as you would expect. Go ahead and unclip it. And do just like we did for the passenger side. Remember, we're going over the child restraint hooks. All right. Once that's all done down here, we can go ahead and push our seat belts back through. All right, let's do our headrests. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the center headrest. Just like on the front seat, when you find that center headrest cover, the long piece is going to be towards the front. The broken pieces are going to be towards the back. Center headrest just fits right inside. Nothing special with this. Make sure everything is nice and lined up. And then attach. And reinstall that. All right, for the driver and passenger side headrests, those install the exact same way. Again, your long continuous piece goes towards the front. And because this is a longer headrest, it is better just to kind of flip this over and do the same trick we did for the front seat headrest. And reinstall those. Well, that concludes the installation. If you have any questions, call the experts or visit us online.